Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here on DarkAvengerINCPlus, where I'm doing my first in-depth review, and the comic I've chosen for this is Amazing Spider-Man number 700. By now, everyone should know what happens. Peter Parker, still trapped in Dr. Octopus's body, tries at one last effort to try switch his brain back with Dr. Octopus before he dies. Unfortunately, he's not successful. But as he's dying, he's able to witness his entire life flash before his eyes, and the brain link that was that switched their minds in the first place. Doc Ock is also able to experience Peter Parker's life. He's able to see everything from when Peter was raised by his loving aunt and uncle to getting bit by the radioactive spider, being Spider-Man, losing Gwen Stacy, the black costume, everything. Up to that point where finally he just realizes that, where pretty much Octavius finally gets it. He understands now why Spider-Man does all these things, and unfortunately, though, it's not enough to save Peter Parker, and he dies in Dr. Octopus's body. And after he dies, Otto Octavius vows that he will continue on Peter Parker's legacy as both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. But he'll do it way better as a superior Spider-Man. And that's your lead into the superior Spider-Man, which is going to come out next week. Well, it was, for me, the ending of this with Peter Parker dying, and now Otto Octavius is still in Peter Parker's body, and he's the superior Spider-Man. It's kind of unexpected. It was pretty unexpected for me, because I thought we might be getting a new character, like a completely new person under the mask, who's going to be the new Spider-Man. And apparently I'm wrong. Technically I was wrong. Legally, it's Otto Octavius under there, but he's technically in Peter Parker's body, and he's still using Peter Parker's identity, so legally he is Peter Parker, I guess. But, and again, if you saw my weekly reviews and you saw me talk about this, I said I was torn in the ending. Well, for the most part, I'm like 90% I'm okay with this because it's something different. It really pushes the boundaries, but the other 10% of me is really frustrated that the real Peter Parker dies in the body of his arch enemy, one of his arch enemies, while his real archenemy, Octavius, still gets to live out the rest of his life in the hero's body. It's just a little frustrated, but then I try to remember that, I think Dan Slott knows what he's doing with this, okay? Because I've said it before and I'll say it again, I have loved Dan Slott since he started writing Amazing Spider-Man, okay? He's done an amazing job since the beginning of Big Time, okay? And granted, he might reverse this. Okay, there might be a way to reverse this. Because the link between Peter Parker and Dr. Octopus is still active. So, a possibility because Dr. Octopus, he still has access to all of Peter's memories, his thoughts. And so, if possible, if something happens to, Peter's body, say, his heart stops or something, it is possible that maybe Otto Octavius would be in some sort of spiritual limbo, and he'll have a near-death experience where he meets Peter Parker, and there would be an opportunity where Otto pretty much gives Peter his body back, saying you're the real Spider-Man, you should save the world. So that is a possibility. But back to the issue itself, this was still a great comic, and even though Peter Parker's gone, he's still technically here, because now Otto Octavius is sort of going on this road of redemption where he hopes to sort of, be the good guy now and help people and save people, because he now finally understands that with great power comes great responsibility. And although a lot of people did not like this ending, I do follow Dan Slott on Twitter, and he did retweet a couple of death threats, and I'm pretty sure there were a lot more than what we saw. There was even an article about it on Comic Book Resources, but here's the thing about it. If you didn't like this ending and you're pretty much angry and you sent a death threat to Dan Slott or whatever, don't. Okay, if you're pretty much angry at the point where you're willing to harm another human being, just cool off. Go take a walk. Go take a nap. Blow crap up on video games. I do not. Just cool off, alright? Just find some way to deal with this that doesn't involve threatening another human being, okay? I mean, even if you don't like it, you could do what I did after one more day, which was I just stopped reading Spider-Man. Do I regret it? I sort of do, but eventually I got back into it. So all I'm saying is that, and also, for all we know, Dan Slott could have another story arc where he could fix all this. Like, well, not necessarily fix, but just reverse it. Reverse it's the proper word I want to say here. Because it's not a bad ending. I mean, I think it really does push the boundaries of the Spider-Man books. And it's very good. Okay, it's different. And it is a very interesting way to close off the Amazing Spider-Man series. Actually, you know, if you think about it, they're ending Amazing Spider-Man with Peter Parker dying. I mean, that's actually not really a bad send-off if you think about it. And who knows, maybe if Peter Parker does come back to life, then they'll restart Amazing Spider-Man. So there's some other silver lining you can take from this. Okay? So I would say Spider-Man fans should buy $6.98, $6.99, and $700, which is the entire Dying Wish story arc. They could read the full thing and ultimately decide whether or not they want to pick up Superior Spider-Man. In fact, I'm probably going to end up doing the in-depth review for Superior Spider-Man on DarkAvengerINCPlus anyway, so, you know, there's that too. And all I can say about Amazing Spider-Man is a great series. Was a great series. Spider-Man's been is still one of my favorite heroes. I hope whatever with Dr. Octopus under the mask, the series doesn't go to hell, and I hope Dan Slott really does know I hope Dan Slott really does know what he's doing with this. Okay? I mean, he hasn't steered me wrong. I think he's done an amazing job, so I trust the guy with my favorite character. He knows what he's doing. And, well, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. If I had to give this a rating, I would give it maybe 4 out of 5 stars. That's my rating for Amazing Spider-Man 700. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing to Dark Avenger Inc. Plus, Spider-Man 1991, saying see you later.